Welcome to Complete with DLC, the only show without a special guest. I'm one of your hosts, Griffin, and the former old news, Brad Knight. Brad, how you doing?
I'm sad.
Why are you sad?
And defeated, because we're recording this again, Jacob.
Yeah, I know, we are.
So, do you want to explain it, or should I, or...?
Yeah, you do it. You're better at explaining things than me.
Okay, so we had just recorded this, literally an hour or two ago, with a special guest. He's the guy who does all the artwork for our show. His name's Vincent. Good guy, great. It was a great episode, too. It's a shame that you'll never see it. But there's a problem with his audio, and now that episode is unusable.
Yes.
And the problem is that we've had to re-record shows in the past, but usually we'll catch on to the fact it would be unusable sometime in the episode, and we'll scrap it and try again. We got through the whole episode this time, so that means we can't do well that sucked, because I already know the answers.
Right.
The news document is especially short because we shortened it because we had 3 people instead of 2, so...
That, and there was just no news. But the thing that really sucks about Well That Sucked, look at that, is that you'll never get to see a perfect three-peat, because Vincent got all 3 of them right.
Yeah, he got all 3 of them right. And, like, it's not even like he thought about it for a long time. He just, like, boom, done.
Yeah.
He was a natural, really.
He really was.
So we're going to try to get him on the show again, because that was a really, really fun time. But this episode has sort of turned into just a whatever episode. We're going to read you a few stories, what we're playing, and then we're just kind of going to take it from there and see where this goes. This is going to be a shorter than usual one, though. Yeah,
well, it kind of will be like a special, but it's more of a regular episode. Because
it's the special we never planned on doing.
Exactly. So I guess no time like the present. Let's just get into what we're playing. Brad, I already know what you've been playing, but why don't you tell me what you've been playing this week?
So this week I went back and I played Bloodborne again. And I talked about this a few weeks... I'm getting a phone call. No! God damn it! Give me a minute. Alright, so, back from my phone call. Damn it. I went back and I started playing Bloodborne again. I'm doing a Waste of Skin run as my first run because I don't enjoy playing video games. I want to make myself suffer.
Right.
And I've realized that I am considerably worse at Bloodborne than I am at Dark Souls, which makes me sad. But the one thing I will say about Bloodborne is that I love the way it controls more than anything. I hate the fact there are no shields. That really annoys me, because that's my favorite part of Dark Souls, is hiding behind a shield. But, like, your character is very, very fast at Bloodborne. You can move very quickly, you dash, you dodge, you feel very responsive, where in Dark Souls, that's all dependent on your armor. So unless you're wearing the lightest of light armor, you're gonna feel clunky, you're gonna feel heavy, like you're wearing a full suit of armor.
F the movement in Dark Souls.
Oh yeah, if you're over-equipped, or if your weight carry, or your weight limit is too high, you will just chug around and, like, it feels awful, but that's the drawback of having really heavy armor. But Bloodborne doesn't have that. You are fast all the time, always, and you need that speed, because if you're not perfectly timed with your speed, you're going to get nailed and you're going to die. And I'm dying a lot. I'm still in the first area. I have like 3 hours in the game, and I'm incredibly frustrated.
I don't even get to do any of my cool smarmy remarks that I was going to do. Why don't you like it, Brad? Because you just explained, you went right into it, you barreled through it.
I did. What I will say, though, is more than anything, what I don't like about Bloodborne is the art style. I really don't like the gothic, grungy, the grays, the browns, the blacks, which it's a unique art style. It's something that's very aesthetically pleasing to some people. To me, I don't care for it. I
like the art style actually a lot in Bloodborne. Of the clips that I've seen on YouTube and stuff, I like the art style much better than Dark Souls. Even though I think Dark Souls art style is still also very nice.
It's much like the game itself. Bloodborne's art style is very love it or hate it. There's nobody that just goes, it's all right. So, I mean, I really don't like it, but some people love it, and that's fine. Different strokes for different folks, as I say. But, that's really all about it. Everything else I've been playing, it's, not terribly important. I have been playing Pokemon Platinum still, going through that Nuzlocke, so if you want to check out some of that. I'm not going to talk about it too much, because I'm doing a YouTube series on it, so go check that out on the Complete with DLC YouTube channel.
youtube.com/http:/.
Yeah, like 1,700 digits, because YouTube won't let you make a custom URL until your channel's at least like 8 months old. Which
is weird, because they used to just let you make a custom URL.
Yeah, because YouTube's stupid. Screw you, YouTube. Jacob, what have you been playing? I think I know the answer to this. Oh wait, I do!
So, quickly, I just want to talk about a little kind of recap from Tuesday. I've been playing more of Tabletop Racing World Tour. It's a real nothing game, and I don't know why I keep playing it.
I think it was just, you had nothing else to do until just recently.
In all honesty, actually, the reason why I kept playing it was because something was installing. That will be my second game that I'm talking about. But it's just like, it's so easy. It's like stupidly easy.
And it's
But
not
I keep
even,
playing it.
it's a PlayStation game, correct?
Yeah.
So it's not even like it's an Xbox game where it's easy, but you complete it to get all the achievements. Like, trophies
exactly.
don't hold the same weight as achievements do for me, so...
I don't even think I've popped a single trophy in this game.
Is that what you call it? Pop a trophy?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know the terminology. I know achievements are like dings. I didn't know trophies were pops.
I just call it, it's also a ding, but I just say the trophy didn't pop or something like that.
Ah.
But, I mean, I might have. I probably did for winning a cup or something like that, but, like, it's such a nothing game that I don't even pay attention to that. A game that I actually have more to say about and I'm very excited about, that was the reason why I played Tabletop Racing Transform, because it was installing, is Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. I was going to say Uncharted Thor.
Yeah, it's a weird crossover.
Yeah, right, imagine. This game is pretty incredible, in all honesty. I went into it a little nervous that it wasn't going to meet my expectations.
Because you had some pretty high expectations for this game.
Yes, because I don't know if I've went over this on the show before. I am a huge Uncharted fan. Uncharted, I want to say 2, was my first PS3 game that I ever played, because I got a PS3 late because I wasn't going to pay $599 US.
Yeah.
And so, when I played Uncharted 2, it was just such a magical game for me. And then I played Uncharted 1 again, and that was lesser so a magical game to me. And then I played Uncharted 3, and that was also lesser so. But, like, the Uncharted series as a whole, I've always just been like, I love this series. I wish this series would go on forever, like Indiana Jones, right? And unlike Indiana Jones, Uncharted 4 is a good fourth installment, unlike Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And so, basically, I remember saying on the podcast before, Naughty Dog is honestly second to none in making you feel like badass during action beats, I think. Like, I feel like I'm in, like, one of those action movies that you see, because there's, like, parts where, like, he'll be sliding down a hill, and then he jumps off, and he has to grapple hook onto something, swing around, jump off of it, punch a guy in the face. Like, you just feel incredible when you do, like, when you can pull this stuff off.
Yeah, it's very, very rewarding.
Yeah. And their storytelling is just superb, too. Like, I've never felt more like I wasn't playing, like, this is gonna sound weird, but, like, I've never felt more like I wasn't playing a game and that I was just, like, getting a story told to me.
The way I always heard it explained, and I've been using this explanation ever since, is there's a difference between playing a game and experience a game. And what Naughty Dog has basically perfected is experiencing a game, and all of their titles do this. They worked on Last of Us, the story in that is amazing, and you get very immersed. The Uncharted series, every title they touch immerses their players, and they don't play their games, they experience them. Whereas your little tabletop thing, you just play.
Exactly. One thing I also talked about on the other podcast that I want to talk about here, and it's kind of a spoiler, so, like, skip ahead, like, a minute or so. Minute to 2 minutes. I don't know how long we're going to talk about this, but, because Naughty Dog made the original Crash Bandicoot, so there's a part in the game where Nathan and Elena are having, like, an argument or something. It's not really an argument, it's, like, more like playful banter. And to see who gets to wash the dishes, he says, I'll play you for it. If I can beat your high score, I wash the dishes. I don't know, he wants to wash the dishes for some reason. And so the game that they play, it, like, boots up, like, the PS1. I immediately heard the noises, and I was like, is that a PS1?
Yeah.
Like, it was amazing. And then all of a sudden, Crash Bandicoot starts. And then I'm like, oh my god, that's cool. He's going to be playing Crash Bandicoot in the cutscene. And no, you actually play, like, a level from Crash Bandicoot.
And that's awesome.
It really is awesome. And it's a fun little Easter egg to their history. I wonder if because Sony owns the rights to the first one, technically, that they could still use that or not. Or if they had to get Activision's permission.
I would think they'd have... I don't know if they'd have to get Activision's permission. They might. I don't know. I don't know how that would work out.
I don't know either. But I thought that was a really cool moment, and I didn't want to spoil it for anybody, because I didn't know it was happening, so when it happened, I thought it was cool. So hopefully only people who have actually started playing Uncharted 4 and gotten to that point stayed and listened. But yeah, so I don't know. You're gonna hear about probably the rest of the game on the Tuesday show because I'll probably finish it over the weekend. But so far, it's incredible.
It's met all your expectations?
So far, yeah. I don't know. I've heard some stuff about apparently like the third act drags on a little bit. So
that's what I kept hearing, was people were not appreciating it towards the end. But reviewers can never be fully trusted.
Right. So that was what we're playing, and now we're gonna get into the news. So, Brad, we didn't have a lot of news stories to begin with anyway.
Yeah, and we made up for it by having a third mouth to
feed.
Yes. Unfortunately, that child starved, and now we're back to 2.
Yeah, exactly. So, this is actually like a really big story that happened after we recorded on Tuesday.
Like it always does.
So it's a good thing that we've gone to 2 a week now. So Disney is like completely stopped being a video game publisher. They're ending the Infinity video game toy line, and they're shutting down Avalanche Software.
Yes.
Who was like the developer that they own. And Disney announced that it is discontinuing the Infinity video game line and shutting down its internal studio, Avalanche Software. In a statement, Disney's chairman of consumer products and interactive media, Jimmy Pitaro, said that they have changed their approach to console gaming and would be transitioning exclusively to a licensing model. Think how EA has the license for the Star Wars games now. And it would just be that on a bigger scale for their other stuff like Marvel or Disney in general, right?
Yeah.
Part of that change means that Disney would be closing its Avalanche Software studio, putting close to 300 people out of work, but Pitaro said it was a decision the company did not make lightly. This was a difficult decision that we did not take lightly given the quality of Disney Infinity and its many passionate fans, Pitaro said. Disney's apparently going to take a $147 million loss on this. And that's not, it's chump change for Disney, but that's still a lot of money.
Yeah, and that was primarily from the stuff they already have, right? Like things still in stock that they can't get rid of.
Yeah. And so, basically, Disney Infinity will support all of the major events and theatrical releases of Walt Disney in 2016. So, I assume that means, like, Civil War probably has a playset and stuff, and Star Wars, Rogue One, and Finding Dory and Alice Through the Looking Glass are 2 that are being talked about here, but it says that there's 4 sets still to come.
Yeah, so we know of those 2, and basically, the things coming out next are going to be the last for Disney Infinity, which is it's a shame, really.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's one of those things where like they said, it was a pretty decent product. It was it wasn't worse than anything else in the market, and a lot of the fans that were that had this really, really liked it. But it reminds me a lot of the Vita, actually, where it might be a good product and people might love it, but if it doesn't do well enough, they can't keep producing it.
That's the thing, right? Is like now Sony is like kind of distancing themselves from the Vita at this point. Like they don't really talk about it at conferences. Sure, games still come out for it, but it's like it's not as big a deal because it didn't sell. And while the people that bought not Wii U games. Sorry, my head's all mixed up because I just clicked on the next story and it said Nintendo. While people bought Vita games and stuff, and they have it's a very passionate Vita audience, myself included. It's definitely not the money maker that it was perceived to be when it first was like announced.
Yeah, and the same thing's happening here. They've been trying to compete with Skylanders and in some aspects Nintendo with their amiibos, but
and then Lego just came out, and Lego seems to be doing well.
Yeah, I mean this market is just saturated to the brim, and each one of the other ones have something that Disney didn't. Like amiibos are incredibly well crafted. They look amazing, so they have good collector value, where Infinity does not. Skylanders was the first to market, so they have the bigger audience and they have a much wider variety of things to do. Disney does not. Lego has Lego. I mean, who just from the name alone, they're probably pulling in a bigger amount of audience than Disney Infinity is, which is a shame, but it's unfortunately something that comes with the territory of an oversaturated market.
It's just sad because like Disney Infinity, like it seems like such a cool idea, and it has all these characters that I love in it, like, you know, all the characters from Star Wars, all the Marvel characters, like, but it
has Jack Skellington in it. I mean, come on.
Exactly, it's Phineas and Ferb. Like, who doesn't want to play as these characters? I don't know. Would you ever believe that when Skylanders came out, this would take off and be a thing?
I wouldn't. If you had told me that it was going to be as big as it is now, I would have called you insane. I would have guessed it would be a gimmick, because there's always a gimmick, right? And it would be decent. It would be not huge, but it would be okay. I would have never guessed that it would get as big as it is.
I would never guess that we have like 4 companies going head to head here.
Yeah.
For this kind of thing. Activision with Skylanders, Disney, obviously with Disney Infinity, Lego, and Nintendo. I would never have guessed that all 4 of these companies would have came together and did this when like Skylanders came out and it was just like a Spyro spinoff.
Yeah, and if you had told me that of those 4 companies now competing, Disney was going to be the first to drop out, that's surprising to me.
Yeah.
They seem like the biggest powerhouse that, you know, everything they touch turns to gold.
The House of Mouse can do no wrong.
Exactly, but as we've just learned, not everything they touch does, in fact, turn to gold.
Speaking of, doesn't turn to gold? I don't know.
Nice try.
Yeah, I had a good segue in the last show, which sucks.
Listen, all the effort went into that one, and now we're scraping together the pieces for this.
The problem with that one was because the last thing that Vinny said was amiibos are better, and then it segued perfectly into Nintendo.
Yeah.
But Nintendo, after making the announcement that its next 2 mobile games would be based off of Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing franchises, reports are now suggesting that the titles will be free to play. According to the Wall Street Journal, the price of the 2 games, which will be available for iOS and Android devices, comes directly from Nintendo's mobile gaming partner DNA, best known for their work on Nintendo's most recent smartphone quote-unquote game, Miitomo. DNA's executive chief, Iso, how do you say his last name again?
Iso Moriyasu.
Iso Moriyasu told Wall Street Journal that the titles would be free, but hinted that there would be in-game microtransactions offers for those who downloaded them. The 2 games will reportedly be available this fall, and Moriyasu said that they will feel more like traditional mobile games in comparison to the social-heavy app Miitomo.
I mean, we're not surprised that there's going to be microtransactions, are we? We're just... What's important here is how prevalent are they going to be.
I have a feeling like... I don't know. I feel like Nintendo would be the people to do microtransactions right. Like, whereas, like, there's microtransactions in Miitomo right now, but it's mainly just buying coins, right? But you get coins by answering questions or by going to your friend's house or something, right?
Yeah.
Or you get coins for, like, daily objectives and stuff. So, like, it's not like you need to really use the microtransactions. Also, you don't need to use them because who the hell needs to buy clothes in that game? Who's playing it for more than 5 minutes?
Yeah.
But if it's like something where like the microtransactions fundamentally stop me from progressing in the game, then it's gonna be BS. Like if I'm playing Animal Crossing and I can't get enough bells on my own, where I have to spend like $3.99 for like 1,000 bells or something like that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be BS.
Or with the Fire Emblem one, if, you know, it's energy to move your troops, and, oh, you can, you know, buy more energy for, you know, $2 right now and move, or you can wait, you know, 6 hours for your next move, or something stupid like that. As long as... continue?
No, say what you're gonna say.
As long as it's not that, then I think they'll do fine.
As long as it's not like that Kim Kardashian mobile game, where I was just trying to become an A-list celebrity, and everything I did required energy, and that just, like, hurt me. And then eventually I was like, why am I playing a Kim Kardashian video game?
Did you have to release a sex tape?
Surprisingly, no.
Well,
that seems like it would be an objective, and that would get you to the A-list.
That was actually a hidden objective. You could skip straight to the end of the game if you released a sex tape. You were A-list immediately.
Have you ever seen that game? Do you know what it is?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
It's weird. So, like, you make your character, and then you go through, and it'll give you a set of objectives, like, go do a photo shoot, fly to Miami, throw a house party, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And all of it is bringing up your star power. You start off, like, in the F list, and you go to the D list and the C list, and so on and so forth. But it's weird because, like, the highest level that you can be is, like, it said S rank. Like, I assume it was going by video games. And S rank celebrity was Kim Kardashian. and it seems like she's just at such a high level that you can't you can't go over her.
She's sending out a message that you'll never be as good as she is.
Exactly, and like the whole point of the game is just to get her to be your friend.
Oh God.
I'm like, why do I care? Like, why is this a game? It's just dumb. But I played it for a little bit because I play stupid things. But those are the two stories that we had, pretty much.
Yes. And
So-
to give you a sense of how much having a third person added, we were at like the 40-minute mark
Yeah.
at the end of that story.
Right now, where are we at? We're at
22
22 minutes.
Yeah.
So all we have left to do is like the wrap up, and then we'll talk for a little bit after.
Yeah.
Have a little bit of fun. So here's the wrap up. EA went on a tear of releasing info on new game releases this week. Like they just released like information about like 50 games. Some of these are that the Need for Speed series is taking this year off, but the Sweden-based developer Ghost Games, who did the last couple Need for Speed games, is planning to bring the franchise back in a new entry in 2017. Do you have anything to say about this?
Well, continue with the rest of this because there's a lot of EA stuff here, and we'll do one thing at the end.
Oh, okay. The release of Mass Effect Andromeda has been pushed back a bit. The game is now scheduled to be available in early 2017. The next one is EA Sports won't release an NBA Live game this year. Instead, the next entry in the simulation basketball franchise will arrive in early 2017. I don't even know why they make these anymore. They're just getting their ass handed to them by 2K.
Yeah.
Titanfall 2 is scheduled to be released fall in the year of our Lord 2016, as I wrote it here. And finally, Electronic Arts plans to release a follow-up to last year's Star Wars Battlefront sometime in 2017. Hopefully it has space battles.
Yeah, so basically everything on this list is, with the exception of Titanfall being for 2016, but that was scheduled, since what? When did Titanfall come out? 2014?
No, it's 2013, I want to say.
Was it? Okay, so yeah, there's been quite
No, 2014.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's 2 years since the last one, which is fine. That's a good amount of time.
I said the COD development cycle back in the day, so.
Yeah, so that I'm really glad to see, Need for Speed taking a year off, EA Sports taking a year off, Star Wars Battlefront not taking a year off, but, it's whatever, 2017.
No, it took a year off.
Didn't that just come out this year?
No, that came out 2015.
I guess it is taking a year off, then I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So that's really, really good to see that, they're taking a hint from Assassin's Creed, right? Maybe yearly titles are not what we need to be doing. We need to kind of put more effort and more focus on quality, not quantity, in terms of how many games we pump out.
So the thing with this that I have to say is, I understand why they're taking a year off of the Need for Speed series. I liked the last Need for Speed game, but it did not get great reviews.
Yeah.
So I can see why they're maybe like going back to the drawing board with that. I think maybe they need to bring back the best racing franchise of all time with Burnout.
One can only hope.
Mass Effect Andromeda, I'm getting a little worried about now.
Yeah, I said this the last time that this popped up, but this is concerning because we've now had 3 or 4 huge people on the development team jump ship. Writers, designers, developers, they're, dropping like flies. And now this is the 3rd time it's been pushed back, I believe. 2nd or 3rd?
Yeah, I want to say that, yeah.
And now it's early 2017. And I like how vague that is, early 2017. So if they have to push it back again, it's not as, this is less commitment.
It'll come out in March.
I mean, I would hope so, because after a while, this thing's been in development for a long time. So, it's got to get out there at some point. The longer a game is in development, usually it's not a good thing.
I don't know. I'm hoping for the best, but I wouldn't be surprised.
What about Star Wars Battlefront? I mean, are you at all concerned that we're getting another one when we still have 3 DLC packs in the one we have right now?
No, it makes sense to me. I think, and I didn't even think about this beforehand, actually, with, because I had said on the last one that I think they just want to do every other year Battlefield and Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I never even thought about the fact that they also released Titanfall. So, like, where does Titanfall fit into this, too? Because, like, do they really need, like, 2 sci-fi shooters on the market?
Well, I mean, that's the good thing, right? Is now they're not going to have 2 sci-fi shooters. They're going to have Titanfall and Battlefield 1.
That's true. So I guess maybe, like, every other year is going to be a a sci-fi shooter then, I guess? I don't know.
I guess it depends on the success of Titanfall 2. If they've learned from them, everybody liked Titanfall 1. We agreed that there wasn't enough to keep us coming back.
Exactly.
So if they've learned from their mistakes and Titanfall 2 grabs us and holds us like they hope it will, then we could potentially see a third one, and then we might see a recurring pattern with how often these get released. But if this one tanks similarly how the first one did, then we might not see a third.
It's not even that the first one tanked. Like, the first one sold well. It's just like the community died so quickly for it.
Yeah, it didn't have the continuous returns that they were hoping it was going to have.
Yeah.
So, it went free not long afterwards. It got put in the vault and all this other, the 17 different kinds of, subscription services that, video games have now.
The, what's it called? The season pass became free.
Yeah, so they were more or less just giving the game away because it wasn't selling anymore. So hopefully it piqued enough people's interest with that now they'll go into the second one, and we might have a new contender for best shooter on the block now. It won't just be between Call of Duty and Battlefield anymore.
And with NBA Live, why do you even keep doing this to yourself, EA?
Because they don't want to quit.
That's the thing, right? Is like back in the day, I'll never forget the story. This was so weird to me when I actually heard the story on like a podcast. Was NBA Live used to come out like huge before like 2K happened. Then once 2K started taking off, they made one and it almost came out to release, and then they just canceled it. Like even to the point where reviewers got copies of it.
Yeah.
And then they just canceled the release of it, which was very weird, right?
Yeah,
that's not something that happens.
Yeah, you'd think if you'd gotten that far to where the game is basically done, you gave it to reviewers to get an early review. What's the harm of shipping it at that point? Like all the work's already done.
And then they brought it back like 2 years ago for their. I guess they just wanted to reboot it as part of their new sports lineup for the Xbox One and PS4. And then it wasn't good that year. Then they had a chance to fix everything the year after. It still wasn't good. Same thing with the year after that. Why do you keep trying?
They're gonna keep doing it. It's the sad fact of it. Maybe eventually, they're waiting for 2K to slip up, where 1 year live will take. It's similar to how the Battlefield Battlefront thing's been going right now, right? I mean, Call of Duty, not Battlefield Battlefront, Call of Duty Battlefield kind of thing. Call of Duty's always sold better than Battlefield has. But Call of Duty has slipped up, and now Battlefield is looking to take that place as the top shooter, and it looks like they're going to. It could be that they're looking for a similar opening in the sports genre.
I don't know. I don't see 2K slipping up, because like 2K is huge.
It is. It's one of the biggest titles out there.
Like it's stupidly big for like sports titles. It's probably like the only non-EA sports title that's huge, besides maybe The Show on PlayStation.
Because the show is synonymous with baseball right now, because that's really the only game you can get for it.
Yeah, or you can get RBI baseball, but that game's trash, so
yeah,
you don't want it. The last thing that we have in the wrap up though is not even a year after cutting the price to just under $100, the Nintendo 2DS is getting another price drop. Beginning May 20th, Nintendo's entry level handheld will be $79.99. The new $79.99 offering will still include a download code for Mario Kart 7 as past SKUs have.
I would be happier about this, but I don't like the 2DS simply because it is honestly the ugliest thing on the planet.
This makes me think more about actually getting a DS because the thing with the DS and like a lot of Nintendo stuff for me is that like I don't see the value in it, given the fact that like I'll play like the 4 games that I want to play on it, but like I just spent like hundreds of dollars in the system just to play 4 games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If I'm gonna buy one, and I'm honestly considering it, if I am, I'm gonna get a 3DS because I don't like the 2DS. It's not comfortable to hold, it's not comfortable to look at, and I mean, even if I only play like say Pokemon, like I only buy it for the remakes, or not even the remakes, the ports of the first generation games, and then I play Generation 7 Sun and Moon when it comes out, that would be enough for me. I would be willing to buy a 3DS just for those 2 things. Maybe Smash if I want to play that, or I don't know what else is on 3DS. Mario Kart, maybe some Fire Emblems.
I don't know. It's just like Same thing with the Wii U for me, right? If I got a Wii U, I'd probably only end up playing Mario Kart 8 and Mario Maker and Smash.
Yeah.
So
it's something Nintendo is, like, sort of infamous for, I guess, is where, like, you can buy their systems, but there's, like, you're buying it for very, very specific reasons.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I think they need to fix with the NX is, like, if you're gonna, have me buy a hold of the system, give me a reason to do it, right?
Yeah.
This system's supposed to be more powerful, apparently, than the PS4 and the Xbox One. So I'd like to see that power used for other games that are comparable on both systems. So, say it's like, Call of Duty on PS4 runs nicely, but it runs better on the NX, right? You gotta attract that third party.
Yeah.
If you don't have that third party, it's just gonna be.
And if the NX is as powerful as they're boasting it could be, then developers might have some fun playing around with it. Who knows? But if you're looking to get a Nintendo handheld and you don't care what it looks like because maybe you're blind, then the 2DS is definitely going to be definitely on your radar now, because $80 is the cheapest you're going to get for a handheld.
$80 and it comes with Mario Kart 7, which is like one of the best games on the DS.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
For brand new, yes, $80 you're not getting any cheaper than that.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised because Nintendo is infamous for never lowering their prices on anything.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about Nintendo. Is like I remember I got a DS late in the game, like a DS Lite, or not late in the game, but like after everything good had come out for it, and so I wanted Mario Kart, but Mario Kart was still like $50, and it had been out for like 4 years at that point.
Yeah, they don't lower their prices on anything.
Same thing with Mario Kart Wii.
Yeah. But that's the end of the news, if I'm not mistaken, Jacob.
That is the end of the news. We had another news story that was inappropriate.
Yeah.
But, to say the least. But you'll never get to hear that. I'm just going to say it's a game called Cobra Club. Google it at your own risk.
Yeah, if you're at work, don't Google it.
Yeah, don't Google it at work.
Yeah. But here's the point of the show where we would normally go into, well, that sucked, but we can't.
Yeah, because we played it before and Brad lost 3-2.
Yeah, I would have won if it had been just me, because I did get 2 right, but we changed the rules because it was, we didn't do it cooperatively. Vinny and I, is that what you call him, Vinny?
Yeah, I call him Vinny, yeah.
Yeah, I picked up on the habit now, and I've only known him for 2 hours.
Yeah.
We competed against each other rather than do it cooperatively, and he beat me 3-2, so.
Yeah, so you got your ass kicked.
It was a shame. It would have been it was a victory by any other standard.
It could have been a fun moment to have a tiebreaker where I just pick from the old pile of well that sucked.
Yeah.
So you can get it right, and then we probably would have been stuck there all day.
What do I play for a sound clip? But I guess at this point of the show we can talk about some stuff we have upcoming for the thing, for all the things, for all of the things,
for all of the stuff. Well, what do you want to talk about first?
What about the thing we're recording tomorrow? I think people will get a kick out of that.
So tomorrow, me and Brad are getting together in my living room to record a series. Well, I don't know if it's gonna be a series yet. Tomorrow's gonna be the deciding factor of it. We're gonna take 20 minutes. Brad's gonna talk me through how to play Dark Souls properly. And if after that I decide that I'm just done with Dark Souls, then I'm done with Dark Souls. If after that I decide I like it, who knows? It could turn into a series.
Yeah. We had, similar to what we had planned to do with Fallout originally, but we unfortunately lost all of that footage to technical difficulties, which seems to be a common occurrence for us, Jacob. I don't know if you've noticed.
You know what pisses me off the most about that? Is that it was a totally avoidable, well, even today too, totally avoidable, like, technical difficulty.
Yeah, it wasn't like we had a program fail or anything.
Yeah. The problem with the Fallout thing was that my dog is just, he has like ADD and he doesn't know how to sit still.
Yeah.
And so he would go and walk away into another room and then come back and jump onto the it's an ottoman, which is the thing you put your feet up on. He would jump up onto the ottoman where the microphone was sitting, so he would screw with the wires and then it would get all like, it would just cut ahead like 30 seconds.
Yeah, the audio was all screwy. So we had the video footage, but it does us no good without the audio.
Exactly. And after that, like, it happened like 5 other times on the thing, so it like completely screwed up all the syncing.
Yeah.
That was happening, so. And
with the episode we recorded before this one for the show, Vinny had no headphones in, so his mic was picking up everything his speakers was putting out, which by itself was not terrible. We could have edited it out, but as soon as Jacob or us started talking and it was all synced, it reverberated like 3 times.
And the thing that sucked about that too was it was like, oh, well, maybe we could cut out just the parts where we talk on his audio, but sometimes we overlapped in talking.
Yep, and it was really bad. So
yeah,
we've learned from our mistakes, hopefully, and if we do decide to go forward with this Dark Souls series, then we will not make that same mistake. If Jacob does decide not to do a series with it, maybe I'll do something. I'll do a little recording of my playthrough through it, because I'm still doing it. So
there's another series I want to talk to you about, but I want to talk to you about it off air, just in case it doesn't happen. I don't want anyone to take my idea.
Oh, okay. You guys never heard that? Shh.
Don't tell anybody. It's like that scene in Willy Wonka when that one guy is like, "I'll pay you for Willy Wonka's chocolate."
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully that Dark Souls thing pans out, and if it doesn't, we have planned to do a Bloodborne playthrough because Jacob thinks he's will much more enjoy that game. Will much more enjoy. That's not a sentence.
I'm not willing to commit to that either. I think it'll be the same kind of thing as Dark Souls.
Yeah.
If I play Bloodborne and I'm like, this is so much better than Dark Souls, then yeah, we'll do a series of it.
I think you'll like it more, but whether or not you'll like it enough to do a recorded playthrough of it is a different story.
Yeah. Other than that, do we have anything else planned?
No, I'm still doing the Pokemon thing, and I'm 12 parts in and still only at just past the first gym, so this is gonna be a long one, guys. Strap in.
Yeah.
If there's any series you want to see us record or you think might make for a good series, let us know. We'll if we have it, we'll do it. If not, and it's cheap, we'll consider getting it and doing it. So,
you know, we're more open to things than not open to things. You know.
Yeah, we're pretty open-minded when it comes to doing recordings, and you know, the more ideas we get, the longer I can put off having to record Outlast. So.
Oh, right, yeah.
I'm fine with ideas, guys. Please send them all in.
We're still gonna do the Outlast playthrough. We're just trying to figure out times for that because we want to record it at night because we think that was a lot of the big problem with. Other than the fact that Slender is not a scary game.
Yeah, the fact we're playing in the middle of the day didn't help.
Yeah, because if we played it at night, who knows? Maybe we could have enjoyed it more.
Maybe. I mean, Outlast, I know for a fact, is a terrifying game, and playing it at night is even worse. So.
Yes.
I will scream like a child. But
I own one of the worst games on Xbox 360. If you ever want to play that too, by the way.
And what game is that?
Ride to Hell Retribution.
Oh God, I somehow I knew.
I
don't.
I saw it there for $10 and I was like, I'll never see this anywhere ever again. I need to have this.
Yeah, I think I'm good. I don't want to really do a playthrough of that.
No, I'm telling you do.
But is there anything else we want to announce, Jacob? I think that's about it.
No, I think that's pretty much all we have to do. Do we have anything else coming out for the other stuff? Because you said like everything.
Anything new? Hopefully soon. I know we've said this a few times, but we will hopefully get the live streaming situation set up because now I can actually do it in a feasible manner. But we have to work out audio issues and sound clips and all that other fun stuff. So when we have that all figured out, we could possibly switch to live streaming the show, which would mean the YouTube videos would actually be a video and not just a picture of the thumbnail over the audio. Oh, that reminds me. YouTube videos for the recording of the podcast. The YouTube videos are caught up to episode 28 or 29, so they're not far behind anymore. By the time you're listening to this, it might actually be up to 32. We'll see, but if you've been waiting for the YouTube versions of this show for some reason, then it's all caught up.
Yeah.
Mostly.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
What's what else I want to say? Oh, we're gonna try to get the live streaming thing all figured out for E3.
Yeah, hopefully we can do something cool for that.
Yeah, E3 is gonna be a big day for us either way, you know.
Yeah.
So we'll have to figure that out when we figure out the live streaming stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Got to take the first step to take the second. So.
Exactly. You gotta crawl before you can run.
I think there's walking between there, but yeah. But basically, yeah.
Sure.
All right. I'll just get into the spiel then.
All right.
If you want to get in touch with us, talk about any of the things that we talk about in the show, give us your questions, comments, concerns, complaints, whatever it might be, you want to direct it at us, you can do that at CompletewithDLC@gmail.com. If you want it targeted directly at Jacob or myself, then make sure you please say that in the subject line or somewhere in the body of the email, and I'll make sure that I respond or Jacob responds. And I think either way, we might sign who responded to the email for just, I don't know why. We might do it anyway, just so you know.
Or if you want it read on the show, just say that too.
Yeah, say that as well. If you don't want to talk to the show and you just want to keep up to date on everything we're doing, Twitter is going to be the best place to do that. We are complete with DLC there as well. I have pins and needles in my leg. That really hurts. That's going to be where Jacob puts up all the information about new episodes coming out, all the YouTube things that we're doing, like we just mentioned previously, the Sky Fortress and the Pokemon Nuzlocke playthrough. All of that goes to Twitter. If you don't want to follow us on Twitter and you just want to get more of the show, you can do that on SoundCloud, on iTunes, on Stitcher, and on Google Play. Our RSS feed is hosted through SoundCloud, so you want to get it direct from the source. That is where you're going to want to go. And if you want to be so kind as to leave us some reviews or comments or stars or whatever the form of feedback is on your podcast player of choice, because we've got to the point where you can find us anywhere that you get your podcasts.
It's exciting.
It is. It's very exciting. And we take all the feedback you guys give us, and we do think we're improving. We like to think we're improving, but to be honest, we have no idea what we're doing, so.
Probably not. We're probably not. We're probably staying pretty stagnant.
You know what? So, point is in the right direction. Literally, it's the blind leading the blind here, so we need your help, guys. Point is in the right direction. Give us a stick or a dog or something. But, Jacob, if they don't want to get in touch with the show, they just want to talk to you because you're their favorite co-host, where can they find you?
You can find me on any sort of social media at itsjaygriff, ITSJAYGRIFF. Did I spell that right? Yeah. I'm most active on Twitter, so if you really want to get in touch with me, the best way would probably be through Twitter. Also, you said co-host, and it made me think about back in the day when I used to have my fictional guest on the show, Vincent Riley. Me and him had a YouTube channel together, and we called ourselves the Cohorts Collective, and we called our fans co-hos. Get it?
Yes, it's creative.
Brad.
I'm dying.
You're dying. Where can they find you?
If you want to find me before I die, you can do that on Twitter. I'm Kalgny on Twitter, KALGNE. You'll know it's me because I have that little pixel of me there. If you don't trust my ability to use a social media site, or maybe you don't use Twitter because you're like me, then Battle.net is going to be your next best option. That's Blizzard's interactive hub for all their games. Free to download, don't worry about it. And it's got a little instant messenger thing attached. If you do send me a request on Battle.net, I'm Brad1261 on Battle.net.
Brad #1261.
Alright, I keep forgetting you actually have to add that in for some unknown reason. If you do send me a friend request on that, let me know that you're a listener to the show so I can make a note accordingly, because it gives you a little note function. That way I don't, accidentally delete you in 3 months when I forget who you are, because nothing personal, I have terrible memory. But yeah, those are going to be the two best ways to get in touch with me. If you want to have a chat while you play Hearthstone, then Battle.net. If you just want to tell me I'm stupid and I don't know what I'm talking about, Twitter.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the spiel.
That's the spiel. Spiel? Spiel.
Music recommendation.
Okay. I don't know if I have recommended her on the show before, but in case I have, she deserves a second mention. Her name is Natalie Prass. She does covers, but not of video game stuff as far as I know. The one cover that I know that I found her from was the Sound of Silence cover that she does. It's a fantastic cover of a already pretty good song. So if you enjoy some sort of, very calming but sort of jazzy remakes, she does a very, very good job of that. You can check her out on YouTube. She is Natalie Prass on YouTube. I think she actually has her own, what do you call it, Vivo channel? I don't know what it's called.
Yeah,
I think
Vivo.
Yeah, I think it's Natalie Prass Vivo on YouTube. So check her out. She does amazing work.
My music recommendation is the band Best Coast. I originally heard them from this one song called When I'm With You, and I think it would be a great theme song for a sitcom if me and Brad ever made one, but we probably won't because we're not that popular. And I've listened to more of their music and I like it a lot. I don't really know how to describe their sound. How would you describe their sound, Brad?
Very garage bandy.
Yes. So indie, garage bandy sort of music. It's kind of stuff that you'd hear, like, I don't know, like on a college radio station. But yeah, so that's been the show. This has been Complete with DLC. I'm Jacob Griffin.
I'm Brad Knight.
And thank you for listening.
My God, this has been a shit show.